Hello, Wine. How's it going? Yeah, I'm fantastic. Say, I was wondering, maybe you and I can meet up sometime somewhere, say 6 p.m.?
Go.
Oh, come on, come on. Quit your whining. Yeah, okay, sounds pretty dang dandy. See you at 6. Don't be late.
5 hours later.
Man, Wine, you are simply fantastic. You know, I really want to know. I want to know. I want to know what you think of me. Yeah, no. What's that? You don't. Are you not gonna say anything? I was talking to you like earlier, and you're not gonna say anything to me? Do you not have any feelings for me at all? Like I had for you? You know what? That's just not cool. I have no choice. You and this bottle are going out. I am throwing you out.
No, Kyle, no, stop.
My good man. My good man. What? What do you mean?
You're being selfish like King Lear.
King Lear? Who's King Lear?
King Lear is one of Shakespeare's most famous plays.
Do you really think that I care about King Lear and how every act is gonna affect and it's just like the way I act? Please. Oh, please. Now tell me, why must I learn about this tragedy called King Lear?
Because, Kyle, you need to learn to respect your elders, such as this wine.
Elders, such as this wine. This wine right
Yes.
here. And this tragedy is going to teach me to be respectful to everyone.
Yes, it will.
Fine. And tell the story.
With pleasure.
Considered to be the most influential writer in all of English literature, William Shakespeare is said to be born on the date of April 23rd, 1564, in Stratford upon Avon in the United Kingdom. His parents were Mary and John Shakespeare. John was a leather worker who specialized in white leather. He was a very successful businessman. He became the town bailiff in the town of Stratford, which is basically known as a mayor in today's context. However, Shakespeare's father decided to walk away from her business and public lifestyle. Little is known as to why this was. William was the third of 8 siblings that Mary Shakespeare gave birth to. However, the 2 that were born before William both died. Shakespeare had 5 younger siblings. 3 of them were boys, Gilbert, Richard, and Edmund, and 2 of them were girls. Their names were Anne and Joan. Tragically, Anne died at the age of 7.
As a young boy, education played a vital role in Shakespeare's life. Shakespeare attended a highly educated and grammatical school in Stratford. At the school, Shakespeare learned emphasis on writing and acting certain plays as well. It is said that he attended the school until age 13 to 15. It is said that the reason as to why Shakespeare stopped attending the school was because of the family's financial situation. At the age of 18, he married Anne Hathaway in 1582. Anne, who was 26 at the time, was 8 years older than William when they wed. Shortly after they got married, Anne gave birth to Shakespeare's first child, Susanna, on May 26, 1583. 2 years after Susanna's birth, Hathaway gave birth to twins. Their names were Judith and Hamnet. Unfortunately, Hamnet died at the age of 11 of unknown causes. After this period of time, there are 7 years in which very little is known about Shakespeare. These are known as the lost years.
Following this gap about his life, the first definitive mention of Shakespeare following his last years was in 1592. He is described as a successful playwright and actor in London. However, He was known to be a poet before he transitioned into writing plays. The first editions of his early plays appeared in 1594. Shakespeare produced several more plays as well. They were performed in many prestigious locations such as the Globe Theatre. Once he reached the pinnacle of his career, William Shakespeare had many roles in the London theatre industry. Though he was known as a playwright and actor, Shakespeare took a role as a business partner in an acting company known as Lord Chamberlain's Men. It was later renamed as the King's Men in 1603. Financially, Shakespeare was in good hands thanks to his partnership with the King's Men. With his wealth, he invested in many real estate purchases in Stratford and bought the second largest home and new place in 1597. Shakespeare ended up dying on the date of April 23, 1616. The reason for his death is unknown. However, there are many theories that point to either alcohol or an infectious disease. William Shakespeare left a lasting legacy that is still remembered to this day. He is credited writing 154 sonnets and 37 plays as well. He wrote many comedies and tragedies as well. An example of one of these tragedies is King Lear. This piece was written between 1604 and 1606 after King James I of England took the throne. The king even attended a performance of the play at Whitehall on the date of December 26, 1606. King Lear ended up being published in 1608. We will be performing Scene 3 of Act 5.
The play begins with Gloucester and Kent, both noblemen in the Kingdom of Britain, talking about the upcoming division of the kingdom. King Lear has grown elderly and is looking to step down from his position and divide his kingdom amongst his 3 daughters. First, however, he puts his daughters through a test, asking each to tell how much she loves him. The more satisfactory answers will result in larger shares of the kingdom. King Lear is certain that his favorite and youngest daughter, Cordelia, will profess to love him the most.
Goneril and Regan, Lear's older deceitful daughters, lie and give favorable answers, saying that they love him more than anything in the whole world. Cordelia, however, explains that she loves him as much as a daughter should love her father. Despite her sincere and truthful answer, Lear becomes furious and disowns Cordelia. Kent, one of the noblemen, tries to speak on Cordelia's behalf, but Lear banishes him from the kingdom. Meanwhile, the King of France is overwhelmed and is impressed by Cordelia's honesty. He asks her hand in marriage, even though she has inherited no land of her own. Cordelia accepts, reluctantly moving to France and leaving her father with her 2 evil sisters. Kent, although banished, remains in the kingdom and disguises himself as one of Lear's servants and tries to protect him from his 2 corrupt daughters.
Gloucester, another one of the noblemen in the kingdom, is having family problems of his own. His illegitimate son, Edmund, is planning to seize his brother Edgar's land by disinheriting him. Edmund convinces his father that his legitimate son, Edgar, is trying to kill him. Edmund then persuades his brother to flee from his father's anger. To avoid his father, Edgar disguises himself as a beggar, referred to as Poor Tom.
Lear now has little authority left in the kingdom, and he goes to live with Goneril, only followed by a fool, some knights, and a disguised Kent. While there, Goneril insults and quarrels with Lear, so he ends up leaving to go live with his other daughter, Regan. He sends Kent with a letter to Regan, telling her to prepare for his arrival. However, he arrives at Regan's to find that Kent has been put up in the stocks. Kent is set free, but when Goneril arrives, Lear quickly realizes that he has made a bad decision. His daughters undermine the little authority he has left by telling him to dismiss all of his followers. Infuriated, Lear leaves the castle during a violent storm, accompanied by Kent.
Gloucester, who is still loyal to King Lear, receives a letter from Cordelia, who plans to use a French army to invade Dover and rescue her father. Despite the danger, Gloucester tells Kent to accompany Lear to Dover, where he will find safety from his treacherous daughters. He has also told Edmund of his intentions to help Lear, but Edmund informs Regan and her husband Cornwall, and when Gloucester returns to the castle, Cornwall accuses him of treason, blinds him, and sets him loose in the countryside. One of Gloucester's servants then attacks Cornwall with a sword. Cornwall later dies from his injuries. Regan, Goneril, and Edmund decide to send troops to Dover to fight against Cordelia's invading army. Gloucester begins to make his way to Dover, and on the way he finds his own lost son, Edgar. Disguised as Poor Tom, Edgar leads Gloucester to Dover, where they find Lear and Kent.
Edmund has become romantically entangled with Regan and Goneril, whose husband, Albany, is sympathetic to Lear. Goneril and Edmund begin plotting to kill Albany. Gloucester tries to commit suicide, but Edgar, still disguised as poor Tom, changes his father's mind by pulling the strange trick of leading him off an imaginary cliff.
Meanwhile, Lear is tired from his travels and sleeps through the battle at Dover between the English soldiers, led by Edmund, and the French soldiers, led by Cordelia. When he wakes up, Lear is told that Cordelia lost the battle, but he is relieved because he thinks he will be reconciled with Cordelia in jail, away from his evil daughters. However, Lear and Cordelia are taken prisoner by Edmund's soldiers and ordered to be killed for treason. After the battle, Jonaril and Regan encounter Edmund and both display their feelings for him. Albany, Jonaril's frustrated husband, challenges Edmund, but before he can, a disguised Edgar appears to fight him instead. The two brothers fight.
An interlude. Thou art armed, Gloucester. Let the trumpets sound. If none appear to prove upon thy person, thy highness manifest in many treasons, there be my pledge. I'll make it in thy heart, ere I taste bread. Thou art nothing less than I have here proclaimed thee. Sick! Oh, sick! If not, I'll never trust medicine. There's my exchange. What in the world is he that calls me traitor? Villain-like, he lies. Call by thy trumpet. He that dares approach. On him, on you, who not. I will maintain my truth and honor family. A herald, ho! A herald, ho! A herald! Trust in thy single virtue. For thy soldiers, all of it in my name, have in my name, taken their discharge. Oh, my sickness grows upon me. She is not well. Convey her to my tent. Come hither, herald. Sound the trumpet and read out this. Sound trumpet! If any man of quality or degree within the lists of the army maintain upon Edmund, supposed Earl of Gloucester, that he is a manifold traitor, let him appear by the third sound of the trumpet. He is bold in his defense. Sound! Again! Again! Look, it is a man. Ask him his purpose, and why he appears upon the call of the trumpet. What are you? Your name, your quality, and why you answer this present summons? Oh no, my name is lost. My treasons too, bear none and king your bit. I am as noble as thy adversary, and I have come to cope with all. Draw thy sword. This sword of mine shall give them instant way, where they shall rest forever. Trumpets, speak!
During the battle between Edmund and Edgar, Joan poisons and kills her sister Regan out of jealousy. She then takes her own life when her treachery is revealed to her husband Albany. Edgar wins and kills his brother Edmund, but during his final breaths, Edmund repents and orders Cordelia and Lear to be released. However, the reversal comes too late and Cordelia is hanged. Lear arrives soon after carrying Cordelia's body and dies from a broken heart on top of his daughter. Gloucester, after learning that his son Edgar is alive, dies from a mixture of shock and joy. Albany abdicates, leaving Edgar and Kent to rule over the kingdom. Kent tells Edgar that he will soon follow his master Lear into death. Edgar is left to rule the countryside under sorrow and regret.
Well, folks, that was some story. Riley, how'd you feel about the King Lear?
I mean, I thought it was pretty good as far as most of the Shakespeare things that we've read, but I thought it kind of ended sad.
Yeah, I agree. Out of all the tragedies that Shakespeare wrote, this seems to really hit home for me the most. He discovers the man that he was and the true king that he was, and he wants to take that back, but he can't. And the only daughter that loved him died, and the other two were just kind of ruthless and conniving and evil. And sometimes the lessons are learned the hard way, but in this sort of sense, it really is kind of a sad way to end like a play. Shakespeare does have a lot of humorous plays, but this one really hits home, and it's really something that to understand that respect everyone that's around you, don't be selfish, and treat others as they would want to be treated. So that's how I feel about it. Compared to the other plays, fantastic. I really liked other plays such as Othello and Taming of the Shrew, those sort of plays. But yeah, I think after reading King Lear, this is probably my favorite Shakespeare play out of all the ones that I've heard of and read. So yeah, how about you?
Yeah, it was really good. It was really good. I know one of the major themes that was discussed in King Lear is justice, and throughout the play, seemingly meaningless disasters just seem to happen to a lot of the characters, even if they're good people. And that brings me to the question, is there justice in the world, and is the world indifferent or even cruel to humans? Mm-hmm. At the end of the play, however, we do find that although the wicked die, the good often die along with them. And that's shown when Lear is embracing Cordelia in his arms at the end.
I totally agree with you there, and there's also many important lessons to learn, and possibly the most important one depicted in this play is that the actions speak louder than words. And for Joan and Regan, Lear's two conniving evil daughters, telling their father that they love him more than anything in the world, that's just easy. But their actions didn't mirror their words. They didn't really mean it. They didn't mean it at all. And King Lear makes the crucial mistake of not looking past the service into his daughters' hearts to see, what they truly meant and what they truly mean. Similar to most tragedies, however, King Lear learns this lesson too late, and it cost him his life in the end. But you know what? That's how the play was depicted, and like I said, learning the lesson the hard way is how Shakespeare wrote basically play in this fashion. So yeah. Well, anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching this, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. And yeah, R.K. Anderson, thanks so much for helping me become addicted to coffee.
Thanks, R.K.
That's all, folks.